Hey, I meant to get some of the first one, and hey, guess what? That's what happens when you got a chain with a slip hook on one end and a grab hook on the other end, and she didn't hook it the way I told her to. Pretty sure the chain didn't break, but... And of course the machine don't want to keep running, and it's wet, so the brakes are wet, so I can't even touch the pedal without cramming them on hard. So, hey, you got to see that one. I didn't even see that. I was watching where I was going. All right, it's, what is it, Thursday? Thursday the 13th. That makes tomorrow Valentine's Day. Yes, I have a Valentine, and yes, we're going to have a nice dinner. At home, though. So, oh, and number one told me this morning that, yeah, they have plans for all day Valentine's Day, so she won't be here tomorrow. Yay. Anyway, I gotta move a little. I need both hands, so I gotta run the hydraulics at the same time. I'll get you some more. Okay, rehooked and moving. I really have nowhere to put these right now. Where we park the equipment back in the horse pasture, I got that crammed full of stuff already. It's good stuff with an engine and wheels for the most part. So, and yeah, we still got to get some scrap out of here, but we can't get anybody to take it to town because, you know, at $30 or less, nobody wants to mess with it. Ones that usually do our scrap, they're waiting on their pickup to get fixed, which, yeah, she's got her brother doing it. He's so busy it ain't funny. Outfit he works for finally put him in a truck, so he's been hauling logs. He sent me a video. Yeehaw! Like I said, the stick and brakes are so grabby, it's not funny today. I got barely enough. I can barely feel the pedal on my foot. Excuse me again. And once I feel the pedal, it's too late. But anyway, we're cramming these in here tight. They don't belong here. This is where they're going to be. She thinks she's going to go that way. I'm trying to back up so she can get through here, but it ain't going to happen. I'll wait for her. And hey, you know, I can go all day without coughing, but once I'm doing a video, it all hits me. She's trying to figure out what she did. They just think only 2 more to move. Not real sure how I'm going to cram them in here. But one way or another, it'd be kind of nice if they would stack. It'd be even better if they were on wheels. I've seen a lot of different creep feeders over the years, and yeah, it makes me figure I don't like these. But if you leave them in one spot, oh dang it! If you leave them in one spot, reaching behind me to find the key and I can't find it. You don't have too many issues, really. The ones out here in front that are still there, these two get moved in and out of the cow lot in the summer if we use them. Put myself through the windshield here in a minute. These next two, they were kind of put in semi-permanent. Hey, I can coast great. I just don't have much for steering. Good thing it was half turned. But these next two, they were put on. Oh, there's 3 or 4 feet of rock underneath them by now, probably. Put on a good base so that they could sit here, and a mole got underneath the side of this closer one. That's why it's on an angle. But that's one of those things. That is what it is. Oh, it helps if I put her back in a gear. I don't know why. So here's what she looks like today, eh? I guess you've seen most of that last night. what are they, 4x12 or so diamond plate over there to get picked out of there. They come from the old Claremont fuse plant, North Dakota is. When they dismantled it, retooled. Well, they retooled, and then a couple years later they sold the whole plant and closed it down. And I'm running out of gravel on top. So, all right, catch you later. Still Thursday, after lunch. Now it's raining. Got the feeders moved with that thing earlier. Neighbor wants to borrow Squeak, our little 1-ton flatbed, to deliver some hay to some people tomorrow. Last time we ran it, we had an issue. I think the battery's bad, but had it off on a charger. It was starting okay, but say last time we used it, it had an issue. The brake lights ended up staying on for some reason. Battery sat on a charger for a few days, and actually I never took it off. I turned it on to 2 amp maintain, and it's been there for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. Brought it back here, put it in it. Should have enough voltage, but it won't start, so put some power to it. While it's charging, gave me a chance to scrape the deck off. Last time it did get used, it had a load of hay off the hill, and it ended up getting parked in here when we were done. And the next day it wouldn't start, or 2 days later, I guess. So it got coasted out, offloaded onto the big bucket on the skid steer to feed cows, and pushed back in here. So this is how all my days go, really. I never know what I'm going to be doing. But we're going to see what she'll do. Says she's got 14 volts now instead of about 11. And she's still no go. So that tells me maybe the brushes are toast in the starter, which means we're going to try beating on the starter first. But I'm not going to take you under there with me. I got to find something to beat on it with. I was kind of afraid of that because it was showing 11 to 12 volts earlier. And just now it wasn't pulling it down below that. So hey, yay me. Just means it's gonna be longer before I get stuff out over there on the other side of the shop. But like I say, it's raining now. I do got to get in there with the skid steer, get on where there's no gravel under it for a couple of things yet. But if I can't get in there with the skid steer, yeah, we can get them out of there by hand, I guess. Oh, I'm gonna let that thing charge anyway. Walk across equipment, it's the easiest way to get here. Show you what I did with most of what I took out over there. I'm gonna end up making a stockpile someplace. Not like we're not gonna use the stuff. The chunks and everything are underneath this. I still gotta finish top dressing it. Give me a place back here with rock on it. Get that stuff moved and fill in this little V in here, smooth it up. Have a place to park some equipment besides out there. It gets a little wet out there. The other thing I haven't done yet is the downspouts from the back corner back there. Need to get connected up here with this one, and then I'll just run a short underground, bury it, get it across there to get it out of here. So there's no chunks in a straight line from this post out to that fence post. I didn't want to have to dig through them. Actually, I shouldn't say there's none. There could be some that were already there. But we'll avoid those when the time comes. So yeah, back to my day. The kids are trying to finish up that new heifer lot below the barn. All the panels got up last night, yesterday. But got to get all the hot wires back in. I don't want to let those heifers against panels. Excuse me. I'd much rather keep the hot wire to them. Save having to mess around with them. Save having them destroy panels. And yeah, I'm trying to think where I got something to beat on that starter with. nothing back here, so I guess I head the other direction to find something. So, get that thing so it'll start. Maybe the battery's alright. As long as the starter don't leave him stranded. I mean, he only needs to throw 1 ton of hay on it, take it 2 miles, unload it, and take it back. But you can't get into the place he's going. He says it's bad enough getting that in the driveway lined with fir trees, and you got to dodge every tree on the way in. And funny thing, when they built their barn, you know, 30 years ago, those trees weren't in the way. They weren't near as big. Every year they get bigger. So, yeehaw. Okay, done saying the bad words. Back to video. Yeah, battery's fine now. Well, I shouldn't say it's fine. It's got enough juice. Starter's toast. When it rains, it pours, man. So, that means trip to town at some point. I gotta go to town anyway. Things that I'm supposed to have done the first of the week in town. But given what's going on, I haven't been there. Funny thing, places in town don't open till 8, 9 o'clock, and they close at 4 or 5, so neighbor ain't gonna get it tomorrow. Maybe if I get a starter here before that. Maybe if I'm lucky. I think Ben's gonna be here this weekend. I might get to him to crawl underneath there and play with it and change it as I'm dropping tools. He fits under there better than I do. He's younger too. No, I can do it. God knows I've changed probably thousands of Chevy starters over the years, and probably almost that many Ford starters for other people. Only reason we did a Ford starter for ourselves was because, well, I guess I had a Ford at one time, but New Holland Bell wagons, their gas engines are a Ford engine, and they use a Ford starter. And they don't seal them, so they get full of junk, and you burn a starter up in, well, a month or so, running in the summer, if you don't seal them up. Okay. More stuff to do. This works. Friday, just afternoon. Number 2 got home from school, so she's bringing the mobile shop in here. Hey, anybody want a couch? You can have it. It folds out into a bed, kind of, sort of. It's out of a camp trailer. There's a better one in there now. She'll get this figured out. She pays attention to me. Get her in here far enough to do some good. She's gonna crawl underneath here and throw a new starter in it. She's gotta learn sometime, right? Told her she brings this back, she's got everything she needs. At least it better all be in there. If it's not, it's her fault. And hey, now it's starting to rain again. Yay. Oh well, I'll go show you what I've been up to. Give her a couple pointers before I leave, but I go back to doing what I've been doing for all week. Number 2, working on that starter like I said I was. I was just going to show you what we got here now. This and that and all the concrete. That's what was underneath. That's just what was underneath the 2 feeders that were out here. And where we were out around it enough for the cattle to be on. So I uncovered it. Covered it back up. I still got rock to right here, and I think there's a strip probably 5 feet wide underneath this. I'll find out. I know there is right there, about to that, down to that white post almost, maybe not quite that far. Getting there. This is all morning digging with the hoe, but you got to remember I had to uncover it all first. And then cover all that back in. Once I get this pile out of the way, what's underneath here should go quicker, because it's just going to be a matter of keep working my way back. Drag it with me till I can't drag it, then take the skid steer and haul it off. I can make Shane a little jealous. That's the bucket I always use. It's a Bobcat bucket that was converted to go on the hoe. Works great for loading manure spreader. I just wish the old hoe was bigger. Still gotta grab the pipe. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. It's so slick up there after some sprinkles yesterday and being a wet early morning that I can get up there with a skid steer to try to get to it, but it ain't worth it. It can pack out by hand. I just got the stack of panels that was here out of the way, and yeah, dogs think there's a rat in there somewhere. I'm sure there is. We've got him underneath the squeeze chute. So the wood deal there, middle of the screen, that used to be for a water trough. And of course a couple culverts here and some blocks. The blocks can come out later. I'll get everything I need the forks for, and then I can get the bucket on and start moving that stuff. So that's what it is. Maybe see how far I get today. Might add to this video. If I don't add to it, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. They say it's free. And there have been some questions on what's ours. The fence line to the left of the screen goes down to the creek. Everything that's on the side of that fence that I am on is not ours. So that beautiful meadow that a couple asked about, that's not ours. And beyond that, the brush back there, there's actually, oh, that's what, 50 or 70 feet to the creek. Government program, you know, fence it all off and grow brush and a bunch of non-native stuff, and they say it's all native. And on the other side of that was actually a 4-acre meadow on the other side of the creek. That all went in the program. So that's all brush, and it's all a swamp now because they put stuff in there that holds water. You can't walk in there in the middle of the summer. But anyway, we're getting her done. Get done with this and then find a place to move a bunch of equipment to. I got that spot. Unfortunately, it's our sale hay barn, about 2.5 miles up on the hill. It's trees are in the way so you can't see it, but just about dead center of the screen. It's clear up there. One of those things we close 2 miles of road to move equipment on because you can't pass anybody on that hill. Even a motorcycle has a hard time getting around the combine. So I'll leave you with the dogs.